What's up, guys? My name is Crescent, and selling on Amazon can be frustrating sometimes when seemingly easy tasks simply don't work. Recently, if you've been trying to create a new product listing, you might have run into a problem and you're shown an error message like this one. Or if you're lucky, you're also presented with an invalid UPC barcode error like this one you see here. But no worries, this isn't just happening to you, this is in fact happening to everyone, new and established sellers alike. So I'll show you how you can easily get around these errors, as well as a secret on how you can buy official GS1 barcodes for dirt cheap. Okay, so there's actually two separate errors going on here. And so let's tackle the first one, which is the 5665 error first. And so what is the 5665 error? If we take a look at this page here, you can see that if you've been trying to create a new product listing and you see this message, it says right here that it's error code 5665, okay? And it says right here that Amazon must approve your brand before you can use it to list products. Brands should be registered through brand registry, but if your brand is not eligible for brand registry, you can obtain an exception by contacting seller support and mentioning error code 5665. All right, now when you contact seller support, what do you need to provide? And it says here you need to provide the brand name that you intend to use, as well as images of your product with your branding on it, okay? So images of the product and packaging showing branding on either. The images can show the product and packaging held in hand or placed on a table. The branding must be permanently affixed, okay? Now, if we come over here and actually click on this brand name policy link, it takes us over here to the Amazon brand name policy page, okay? And if we scroll down, we can see that there's error 5665 here, and this is the same verbiage that we just read, all right? Now, what I want to point out here that it says the branding must be permanently affixed. So when you take the photos, it shows that. And if we scroll down to the bottom, there's a frequently asked questions section here, okay? And right here, number 3, it says, what does permanently affixed branding mean? A brand name printed on packaging would be considered permanently affixed. A sticker would not be considered permanently affixed branding, as it can be added after production. Okay, so if a product or packaging does not have any branding, the brand value should be generic. All right, so what's causing this 5665 error? The error has to do with the brand name you entered and the fact that Amazon doesn't recognize that brand. All right, so let me show you what's going on here. Now, if we go to Seller Central and we go to add a new product, we want to make sure we always choose I'm adding a product that's not sold on Amazon if you're doing private label, okay? And if we scroll down, we're going to choose my favorite product, which is a can opener in the search. And it's going to default pull up what it thinks is the appropriate category for it, okay? So this first one here is can openers manual, which is the one I want to select. And here it's going to ask us for some basic information in order to save and finish this product listing. And you'll notice that the save and finish button right now is grayed out. I can't click on it. And you'll notice at the top, any information that's required so that I can save needs to be filled in. And right now I'm on the Vital Info tab, and there's a red asterisk here telling me that I need to finish some information on this page as well as on this offer page. Okay, so what I'm going to do here first is for the product name, I'm going to enter something temporary here, like stainless steel manual, just making stuff up here, okay? And my brand name, I'm going to assume that my brand name is going to be, I'm just making something up here, kitchen, ABC kitchenwares, all right? And then it's going to need a product ID, but I'm going to leave that for a second. We go over to the offer tab, and the standard price, make something up, and the condition is going to be new. And we are doing Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, all right? And notice that now the red asterisk is gone, okay? So now if we go back to the Vital tab, it's asking me to enter the product ID. So in this case, we're gonna use a UPC barcode, one that you purchased from a third-party reseller like Nationwide Barcodes or Barcodes Mania, or directly from GS1, okay? So I'm gonna choose UPC. And I'm going to paste a barcode here, which I'm going to blur out so you guys can't use it. And you'll notice that right away, this error message popped up for the 5665 error. So going back to the cause of this 5665 error, it's because Amazon doesn't recognize the brand name that we entered in the brand name field, okay, this ABC Kitchenwares. So one thing I want to point out is that it doesn't mean that you need to have a registered trademark in order to create a product listing or to sell on Amazon. It simply means that around the beginning of 2020, Amazon started tightening up the requirements and they want the product sold on Amazon to be associated with a brand. So if you enter a brand name that Amazon doesn't recognize, you'll need to provide all that extra information that it asks for so that Amazon can approve the brand so you can create this product listing. So what you want to do beyond fixing this 5665 error temporarily, which I'll show you in a second, is you're going to want to contact your supplier and make sure your branding is permanently affixed on your product, so then you can take photos of it and submit it to Amazon to have your brand approved. So how do you go about getting these photos that Amazon wants? Well, if you're doing private label like I do, you should always be putting your brand on your product anyways. So get a production unit from your supplier and take photos from several different angles showing the branding on the product. One thing to note, however, is that if you only have a sample unit or you want your supplier to put your branding on a sample unit for you, that most likely isn't going to happen. The costs involved to make a single customized unit is way too high and not worth your supplier's time anyway, so don't expect to go that route. But what you can do in this case, and you can do this at your own risk, as I'm not actually condoning it, is you can have your branding photoshopped on the sample. You'll just have to find someone that's really good at Photoshop so the final image is indistinguishable from the real thing. So again, do that at your own risk. All right, so going back to the 5665 error, in order to get around this error message, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and go down to the brand name section, and instead of putting your brand name, you're gonna wanna put NA or a variation of it, okay? You'll notice that once I type that in, it kind of refreshed the page, and you can see it gave me a different error, which I'll go over later on here. But what you want to do is put in different variations of NA until you no longer get this error message, and the save and finish button is clickable. So in this case, you can try NA1. It doesn't work, right? You can try NA-1. And there's really no right or wrong. Oh, NA-1 worked, okay? You can see that I can click on save and finish. And just to show you, you can keep trying different variations. For example, N/A. And that doesn't work. So you can do like N/A1. That doesn't work. How about N.1? Okay, see, that works, right? So there's several different variations that you can enter in there to get rid of that 5665 error and then allow you to save. Now, one thing I want to point out is that you don't necessarily have to use a brand name that has NA in it. So if you can't get this to work, you can try something else, like for example, Z-1. Okay, see, like that worked. Z123. And that worked too. Okay, so if you can't get anything to work, you can try some random characters until you do get the save and finish button to appear. So once you've done that and you no longer get these pop-up error messages, you can go ahead and save and finish your listing. Now, one thing I want to point out too is that you might think that you're getting this message because you need to have a GS1 barcode. But I can tell you that this error is happening regardless if you purchased your barcode directly from GS1 or from a third party like Nationwide Barcodes or Barcodes Mania. I also want to point out, if we jump over to Nationwide's website, if we scroll down, we can see that these are EAN and UPC barcodes for Amazon, but they point out here that it says here, Nationwide Barcodes affordable UPCs may be a better solution for selling your product. Our UPCs will work for you unless you sell your product using Amazon's brand registry. So if you do in fact have a registered trademark and you have access to brand registry, when you're adding new products, I suggest buying directly from GS1 so you don't have any potential problems, okay? Now, if we scroll down, they actually bring up these issues on Amazon. You can see the Amazon error code 5665. So they're going through the same process I just went through here in the video on how to fix that. Okay. And if we scroll down, you can see that there's this second error message that popped up before. It says that you're using a UPC, EAN, ISBN that doesn't match products that you're trying to list. If you get this message, it's also related to the brand name. So again, change the brand name field until you get that save button and that pop-up doesn't pop up anymore. Okay, so you can see that they describe that process here as well. All right, so again, I want to point out that regardless if you're buying it from third party or directly from GS1, those pop-up error messages are still happening. But I do want to point out the secret that I mentioned earlier about GS1 barcodes. If we head over to GS1's website and we go over to get a barcode, if we scroll to the bottom, we can see that GS1 barcodes are still $250 for 10 barcodes with the $50 annual fee. That hasn't changed, and that can be pretty expensive for people starting out on Amazon. But what's new here is if we scroll up, there's a new section that they added to this page, and it says start small with GS1. And if we read the asterisk, it says a GS1 US GTIN can be licensed for $30 and comes with a free lifetime subscription to the GS1 US Data Hub, our tool to help manage your product data. There's no annual renewal fee for a GS1 US GTIN. Okay, so as you can see, now that the GS1 official barcodes are only $30 each now, in my opinion, it's not worth it to buy third-party barcodes from like Nationwide or Barcodes Mania. So just buy directly from GS1 and not have to worry about any problems in the future with Amazon. Okay, so back to this UPC error. If you're getting this, in my experience, it's from one of two reasons. If you bought directly from GS1, it can take up to 48 hours for the GS1 database to update with your new barcodes. So just wait and try again later. The second cause I've seen is because the barcode you bought has already been used on Amazon, which you might think is odd because you're buying it and it should be brand new. But this can happen because people buy fake barcodes or use barcode generators to create random barcodes until they get one that works on Amazon. And one of them just happened to be the same code as the one you bought. So what you'll have to do is contact seller support and tell them, and they'll split that listing that's using your barcode up into two separate listings, and then you can take over the second one and add your product. All right, so now lastly, once you're done fixing these errors and you finally saved your listing, you don't want to just leave it as is. Make sure you contact seller support and get your brand approved. Otherwise, you're going to see NA or whatever you typed in the brand name field, NA/1 or whatever, in the beginning of your product title. And that just doesn't look very good. What you want is to have your actual brand name appear in the beginning of your title. So contact seller support, click on help, and then we're going to scroll down to the bottom here, get support, selling on Amazon, and we're going to put error 5665, click on continue, and we're going to click on trouble adding a product, click on continue, and then we're going to click down here, need more help with this issue. Error 5665, and then attach the photos that you took, and then submit. All right, and that's it. If you have any questions or you want to get in touch with me, you can find all of my contact details in the video description below. I'd also love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment in the comment section below. I answer every single one. And as always, if you found value in this video, consider subscribing. And do me a favor, click that like button. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm. And make sure you ring the bell so you never miss a future video. All right, thanks for watching.